Today, we're comparing the LEGO Technic McLaren MCL39 with a much cheaper copy. I'll be building both sets side by side and examining everything from the packaging and instructions to the parts, stickers, build quality, and working functions. Let's see how similar they really are. Here's the official LEGO box, and here's how the copy arrived. Just a plastic bag. Inside, LEGO uses numbered paper bags, and some parts still come packed separately in plastic. The AliExpress version uses all plastic bags. Most of them are numbered. Both sets include instructions and stickers, although the quality is quite different, as we'll see later in the build. Although both sets follow exactly the same building steps, LEGO's instruction booklet is much better. The images are larger, clearer, and much easier to follow, especially during some of the more complicated stages of the build. I still think LEGO can improve certain areas. For example, these parts need to be aligned perfectly in order for the mechanism to work correctly later on, but the instructions don't really highlight that. Experienced builders will probably notice it, but newer builders could easily miss it. The clone's instructions are not good at all, so I'll just throw it away and use the official LEGO PDF instructions instead for a better building experience. With LEGO, you only need to open a few bags at a time, which helps keep everything organized. The AliExpress version also has numbered bags, but mainly pins and smaller parts are packed separately, so you end up opening more packets at once. That's actually a good point to mention the desk I'm using for this build. Flexispot kindly sent me their E7 Plus standing desk to try out, and after using it for a while, it became a really useful part of my building setup. When you're working on large Technic models like these, having plenty of workspace makes a huge difference. There's enough room for sorted parts, the instructions, and the model itself. The adjustable height has also been a big improvement. Technic builds can easily take several hours, so being able to switch between sitting and standing helps keep things comfortable throughout a long build session. The desk feels extremely solid as well, which is great for filming since my overhead camera shots stay stable and vibration free. It also gives me enough room to display multiple large sets side by side when making comparison videos like this. If you'd like to check it out for yourself, you'll find a link in the description below. Now, let's get started with the build. Building both models feels surprisingly similar, but some of the parts do look different. LEGO's plastic feels slightly softer and has some flexibility. The copy uses harder plastic, but everything connects together without any major issues. Right from the beginning, I could tell that the LEGO mechanics would operate much more smoothly than the copy. There are also some differences in the engine assembly. LEGO uses the newer engine block design, while the copy still uses the older version. It's mostly a visual difference though, as both engines function in exactly the same way. The stickers are another story. LEGO stickers are better quality and look good once applied. The copy uses transparent stickers, which honestly look terrible. At this stage, the steering and gearbox functions are working on both cars, but we'll take a much closer look at all the mechanical differences once the builds are complete. The rest of the build continues in a very similar way. The cars are finally finished. This is the 1:8 scale officially licensed McLaren MCL39, and the level of detail is impressive. Features like the aerodynamic bodywork, functional pull rod front suspension, and push rod rear suspension are recreated very well. One thing I don't like is that LEGO uses the same tyre size on all four wheels, whereas the real Formula 1 car has wider rear tyres. LEGO also continues to use flexible rods to represent the iconic F1 halo. Sets like the Kada Kick Sauber use a dedicated halo piece, which looks much better in my opinion. That's definitely something LEGO can improve. Other than that, the model looks fantastic. This one is definitely going on the wall with the rest of my F1 collection. I've been using Mark's Magic frames for quite a while now, and they've become my favourite way to display these larger cars. I just think they look better on the wall than sitting flat on the shelf. The acrylic covers are nice too because they save me from constantly cleaning dust off everything. I've left links below if you want to have a look. Now let's compare the real LEGO version with its much cheaper AliExpress version. From about a meter away, they look almost identical, but once you get closer, the differences become much easier to spot. The LEGO stickers are sharp, vibrant, and detailed. They're still not as good as printed pieces, but they look decent. The transparent stickers on the AliExpress version are significantly worse and have a noticeable negative impact on the overall appearance. LEGO's plastic also has a slightly glossier finish, and the tyres feel higher quality, with better rubber and sharper prints. Moving on to the mechanical features. Both cars roll on flat surfaces when pushed. The LEGO version is smoother and rolls further when I push both cars at the same time. The suspension works good in both models, slightly better at the front than at the rear. The steering can be operated either through the steering wheel or via the dedicated control knob on top. The copy works well, but the steering feels a little looser than LEGO's. The engine cover can be lifted to reveal the 3-speed gearbox and V6 piston engine underneath. This is where one of the biggest differences between the two sets show up. LEGO uses the updated engine block design, while the copy still uses the older version. The LEGO gearbox also feels more refined. Gear changes are more precise and have a satisfying click when shifting. The AliExpress gearbox works, but it simply doesn't feel as polished. The McLaren MCL39 also features an adjustable rear wing. Its position changes as you switch gears, and this function works surprisingly well on both models. And both builds feel sturdy overall, but this piece keeps falling out. To summarize, both cars may look nearly identical at first glance, but the LEGO version is noticeably more refined both visually and mechanically. The choice is yours. I don't promote or recommend buying knockoffs. I simply enjoy comparing these sets for fun and seeing how they stack up against the original. Would you go for the LEGO version or the AliExpress copy? Drop a comment below and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching.